So does anyone remember the old Philip DeFranco intro? The one with the monkey?
This is a news show.
I have this weird little soft spot for this intro, right? Call it nostalgia or whatever, but whenever I see it, I get filled with this euphoria, this sense of calm excitement or something. It's kind of hard to explain. I guess there's just something about old channel intros. Prior to the pandemic, around like 2016 and earlier, channel intros used to be a big deal, right? It seemed like everyone had one. Those hodgepodges of motion graphics cobbled together to tell your viewers exactly who you are and what you're about. And right off the top of my head, I can think of some pretty classic intros from back in the day, right? The Drama Alert intro, the Review Tech USA intro, which is still around, the Machinima intro, which I know there was multiple channels and all, but still, it's iconic. Same with Normal Boots. Remember when Kadikarus had that oddly terrifying intro that sounded like a ritual? Remember the angry Atari Sega nerd? iDubbbz's Content Cop skits? The fucking Ali A intro? I mean, not all of them were particularly good. Just, in general, channel intros were everywhere, for better or for worse. Right? Some YouTubers would put a ton of effort into their intros to the point where they ended up better than the actual content in terms of production value. Like, there was this widely mocked epidemic of all these little kids who just paid some guy on Fiverr to plug their username into an After Effects template, which had so many effects that you couldn't make out the text, only for the videos themselves to be just some kid squeaking over Roblox, right? Truly the golden years of YouTube. But as you've probably gathered by now, those years are long gone. YouTube has become, in a word, boring. And a lot of that boringness is reflected in the changes in channel intros over the years. Changes that I like to call the Wii effect. The 6th generation of video game consoles, that being the PS2, the OG Xbox, and the GameCube, had some of the best startup animations across the board. They were so full of character and in your face that people still remember them to this day, whether or not they grew up with the consoles or not. 7th generation, not so much. The original 360 intro was awesome, but then they ruined it. The PS3 was meh, and then there's the Wii. Mind blown. It may not be memorable, but if you ask me, I kinda like how low-key it is, alright? It's friendly, it's approachable, it's non-intimidating, and it doesn't waste your time. And as much as I absolutely adore old console startup animations, especially the 6th gen, I can't deny just how effective having the very menu itself be the startup. And I feel like a similar thing is happening on YouTube with channel intros. In a word, they've become low-key. At this point, I need to mark the distinction between intros and channel intros. An intro is the first little bit of a video, which every video in existence has, planned or not, alright? You need to start your video with something. Channel intros are brief segments that display a channel name and or logo, and are reused in some way across uploads. And when it comes to these channel intros, they just don't have the importance they used to have. With attention spans shrinking more and more, due in no small part to TikTok, it's hard to justify wasting people's time with an elaborate 10-second intro segment that people are probably gonna skip anyways when you could just let the content speak for itself.
Culture.
For example, look at Mr. Beast, right? I know it's cliche to talk about him, but he's a perfect example. His intros are just him restating the video title in some way, before very quickly getting into the meat of the video. Then you have Moist Critical, who doesn't really introduce himself at all in his videos, and he doesn't have to, right? You know this guy, and even if you somehow don't, just watch a video of his and you'll get the gist of what he's about. Right, point being, there really isn't a need for a traditional channel intro, as each and every video in and of itself is an intro to your channel. Now this doesn't entirely negate channel intros, it just means you have to get creative with them. Ultimately, the goal for an intro is to hook the viewer in and to give them a reason to want to watch you. And there are ways to still have channel intros be a part of that equation. YouTubers are making their intros more subtle and, again, more low-key. Oftentimes these intros sort of morph themselves depending on the videos so that they don't end up redundant. Which brings me to what I currently think is my favorite modern day channel intro. That's it. That's the intro. This still shot of a rotated Apple logo on a Shrek pad on a work table, surrounded by all these toys that have been collected over the years, is all you need to know that you're about to watch a DankPots video. And that's just the beginning, alright? After a second or two, DankPots comes in with a little quip or a joke or something of the sort to segue into the video proper. It's adaptive, it's subtle, it's intriguing, and it actually makes you want to watch the video while still being a silent introduction of sorts. If you don't know DankPots, this is all you need to know. And if you do know DankPots, this is all you need to know. It literally sets the stage, it is the stage for his videos, and it is absolutely brilliant, alright? DankPots is brilliant, alright? If you're even remotely interested in headphones or iPods or other audio shit, then I can't recommend this Aussie lad enough. In the end, I guess what I'm trying to say is that channel intros aren't dead, but rather they're evolving, or at the very least, they're taking a backseat to what's truly important, and that's the content.